All right. This is Nidal Wadi with UTSA's Department of History. You can see it. Oh, Department of History. Let's go. Waiting to meet with Sia Paulsen, UTSA graduate student of history. Going to speak with her about her academic career up until this point and an exciting fellowship opportunity that she recently was awarded. It'll be fun. Check it out. All right, Sia, thank you so much for meeting with me. I very much appreciate it. You will be one of our very first in hopefully a long series of features with graduate students and undergrad students here at UTSA. Would you mind telling me a little bit more about your specific field of study, degrees you may have received, and where you're at currently?
Yeah, so I started out at UTSA fall 2019. Went in with a history degree and I came out with a history and a Russian minor. So I like the global history aspect, more specifically Eastern European history. And then starting the master's program, spring 2022, I solidified a global history concentration.
That's excellent. What sort of drew you to that field or and brought you to study at UTSA specifically?
So I got really sick before I entered college. So it was at high school 2019 graduation. Got really sick. I was supposed to go to the Citadel, where Professor Clinton actually taught. But since I was sick, I couldn't do any of the PT or matriculation. And so I was going back on all my applications, and UTSA was there, full ride undergraduate scholarship. So I'm like, yeah, I can do this for 2.5 years. Graduated early, started grad school at 20. So little early on, but I've enjoyed it really. A lot of the professors are super sweet. I always wanted to do European history anyway, but even falling in love with some of the Latin American courses and even the Asian courses with Dr. Ng, it's just been a tremendous experience.
Yeah, that's actually how I first heard your name and first learned about where you are currently in your academic career was through Dr. Ng, Dr. Wing Chung Ng, who is our department chair for UTSA history. For those who may not know, I sort of was put on to your recent acclaims through communication with him. Speaking of those recent acclaims, would you mind telling me a little bit more about your upcoming fellowship that you were awarded?
Yeah, I'm super excited for it. I've been interning with the National Nuclear Security Administration in their Office of Material Management and Minimization, so NNSA's M cubed office. Lots of acronyms, but through that, we've had internship meetings, and I applied on Handshake through UTSA. And then my mentor was talking about that there's a fellowship program for graduate students. So they have masters in progress, completed masters and doctoral students that they take. So I just applied on a whim. I'm like, oh, you know what? If I don't get it, it's fine. But I landed 5 interviews, same with MQ, global material security, and then a lot of the defense programs. So hopefully, if all my paperwork goes through, I'll be working in the Office of Lithium Modernization.
That is amazing, and you'll be going to Washington, DC to do that?
I will.
Wow, that is very, very exciting. Your internship currently, have you been sort of working remotely with them so far?
Yeah, so it was a remote internship because I was in a STEM major, so all the STEM majors got to go to their host laboratories. So I've been WebExing, Teamsing, just everything remotely. It was supposed to be a 12-week long summer program, but I got an offer extension for a full year at part time.
That's amazing. You are quite the go-getter. So, you said that you came across this opportunity on Handshake. What was it like pursuing this fellowship opportunity? What were things that were asked of you to do? How did you feel about it? What can you tell me about the process of finding the opportunity and then reaching out for it and seizing it?
Yeah, so the fellowship was a little different because it took me to the actual website of where the host facility is. So I applied, the traditional put in your resume and then refill out everything on the job application. Where have you worked for the past 5 years, what your education level is, and then having three personnel references. So did all that. It's almost the same as doing the internship. So you'll just plug in your resume, but you just need like 2 letters of recommendation for them. It's a little bit of a waiting period, you'll get notified that, hey, we would like to select you for interviews. Please fill out this calendar for your schedule so they can start interviewing us. And then after a month, you'll receive word that you did or you didn't get the internship.
And that's going to be in fall of next year, correct?
So my internship for this calendar cycle ends in June, and I have like 3 days before I start the fellowship.
Okay.
So a
Oh,
lot of
wow. Yep.
they all start in the summer.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. What can you say about the biggest differences between your internship and your fellowship, aside from, of course, being relocated to Washington, D.C.?
I think there's going to be a lot more emphasis on leadership. The internship program, we did our 12 weeks of, hey, this is how you're going to be interning. These are the programs that you're going to support. And then you have an internship project that you present along with a poster presentation. The fellowship, because it's full time, you're actually going to be doing more of like the tasker process, which is you'll get an email from another agency and then you just send it out. Have to be very on top of it with your calendar, time management, and you'll be able to network with a lot more people. I mean, I was blessed to have the oral history project for this internship, so I could talk to different doctors and diplomats and even scientists. But the fellowship, I think, isn't as project based, and you're going to have actual like real world experience, and you'll still be able to sit on directors' meetings as well.
Well, those are most of the questions that I had about the fellowship itself. I would like to ask you more about your experiences with UTSA. What can you tell me about coming into the program? What kind of courses early on or specific projects, if you can recall early on, really brought you in to the history department community?
So starting in fall 2019, it was all like the basic courses. And then we had COVID, so everything was online. So I didn't get as much of a community feel, but the professors are so nice and they'll like reach out to you and they give incredible feedback on your work. They really want you to participate and they just want to know who you are. Like it's a big community feel. I was about to double major in geography, like the GES program, and they're more project based, which is amazing. But I didn't really like group projects as much, especially at the undergrad level. But the history program, you do have like some group projects. I remember in our seminar course, it was the Mexican cooking seminar with Professor Commissaric, and it's like a museum thing. So we saw all the cookbooks and then we like put them out on display on the fourth floor near the special collections. Then we got to write the little captions and then do a whole research project on it. And I liked it. I didn't know how many resources that UTSA had for history students. I always thought it was more of like a STEM school or even computer science. But history is just everywhere. You feel at home at this program, you feel at home with the people. I mean, we're all still meeting up. Like a few of them just graduated and like I met them online. They're like, hey, come over. Like, let's celebrate everyone's achievements. So it's really fun.
Yeah, I love that. And I'm a transfer student. This is my first semester here that just got wrapped up. So I'm looking forward to making more of those connections also myself. And I think that course with Professor Komisarek, I believe, is coming back in this spring of 2023. It sounds super, super fun.
It is fun. One of the guys actually made like some tamale recipes, and then another girl, she's like, "Oh, can I use my grandmother's recipes as a primary source for my research paper?" So she came in, she made a whole tray. It was just so fun. Like you get to like learn different aspects of people, what they like to eat, what their families like. I mean, again, it's that community feel, but you feel it all over UTSA as well, and I hope you do as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting there. Your academic career really interests me because you had that experience and you stuck with it to the point where you're pursuing a master's degree now. Speak to your experience a little bit more of, starting at a 4 year and then having to go through all of this turmoil.
So I was living at home through college anyway, because my parents were like, you can either get the dorm or a new car. Because I had an old 97 Monte Carlo, and that baby could not go more than 5 miles. Like, okay, I'll take the car, and then tuition's already paid for. Never start your classes at 8 a.m. if you live like an hour
Mhm.
away. Going to classes, I love the in person feel that first semester. I really felt at home. I felt like, oh, this is a new chapter. And then coming back home, being locked down with COVID, the professors really put an emphasis on, hey, your personal health and your family come first, but here are the assignments you're still expected to, but we can give you a little bit of leeway because this is such a hard time. And then throughout the semester, I was taking 3 summer courses while working a full-time job, and then going into the fall semester, I was working 2 jobs and then doing my 6 courses online. Half of them were in Russian, so with the internet cutting out, it's like, "Oh, what did you say? What was going on?" The asynchronous classes I found were really helpful because they were already pre-recorded, and you can just write them down at your leisure. I like the pause and the transcript features. Fall 2021, my last semester, 6 classes, working, all these clubs and stuff, and then I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm graduating, what do I do next?" So I applied to grad school, and fortunately, they had the VIP, history master's platform, so my fees got waived, automatic acceptance, and it's just been chugging along.
That's amazing. Yeah, it sounds like you've come across some really, really fabulous opportunities because of what I perceive to be your work ethic. It sounds like definitely don't cut yourself too much slack when it comes to pursuing your academic and professional goals. So I highly respect that. When it comes to some of those clubs and other organizations you mentioned, talk to me a little bit about how you got involved outside of pure academics here at UTSA.
At the beginning of college, I'm like, "No, I don't need to join any academic clubs, I can just be working, going to school, that's fine." And then COVID hit, like, yeah, I would like some other friends besides the classmates. So I was trying to cipher through my email box which organizations were spams and which ones were legit. And Phi Sigma Pi is a legit co-ed fraternity. I applied there, got in. After being a new brother, I was leadership chair. Very fun. We actually got a national award for our fraternity. Then doing the President Volunteer Service Award, got a gold medal in that as well under the fraternity. Was president of History Club for a bit, and I think that doubled up with Phi Alpha Theta as well, which is the master's fraternity for history. And San Antonio Wind Symphony, I've been in that since 2018. So I've been juggling a little bit.
Oh, wow. What do you play?
I play bassoon.
Ah, okay, okay, very nice. Like I mentioned before, learned about you through Dr. Ng. What class of his did you take, and how was it taking a class with him?
Yeah, so I've taken 2 of his classes. So one was Late Imperial China, and it was the asynchronous class in my undergrad. I enjoyed it. The material is a little tougher because that was the first Asian class I ever took. Very, very much an extra credit class. He will give you extra credit. Big lifesaver. And then the second time I took him was the Modern China class for the graduate program. Make sure you read the material before you enter that class because like he gets so into it. It's so nice to see that passion from like a professor. And through this journey of modern China, we learned more about Professor Ng, his life in Hong Kong, where he moved, how he felt about his PhD program. I think the biggest thing that I really like about Dr. Ng is he's the first professor that's told me, you have great ideas, but you need to bring the abstract with the concrete because the analysis is good, but where's your proof?
Because of course, in your mind, it's all there,
Oh
but
yeah,
you have to
like
make sure that that's coming across for people who aren't in your mind.
yeah, and he was the first one to like tell me to slow down and do that. So I just have the utmost respect and I feel like such a better writer. And I mean the class time is just phenomenal. You get to hear about just different stories and then having other students in your class like engaging with that. It transports you to a whole different academic level.
Thank you so much for telling me about all of that. I love hearing about your different experiences here, and hoping I get to have some of those really positive and community building experiences myself as well. After your academic career, which of course you still have so much left to go, what's your professional vision at this time?
Hopefully still can work for the government. Post masters, I would like to do either a PhD in history or go for a JD. I kind of want to do international law, nuclear law. That sounds fun. Getting to actually make a change in the world as well. So early, but yet you still have to plan ahead so
Mhm.
far. I don't want to be in school forever, but I would like to pursue a higher degree.
Was there anything else that you wanted to bring up or anything that you wanted to say before we conclude our time?
No, just thank you for having me. I wish we got to talk about you more than me.
Oh, well, we can we'll save that for off the mic.
Awesome.
But thank you very much, Sia. I'm so glad that we could make the time to speak together. I very much appreciate you being here to speak with me, and I'll let you go for now. I will also let you go for now. If you stuck around till the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And if you feel so inclined, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got a lot more videos like this one coming out very soon. And follow us on other social media platforms at UTSA_history on Instagram and Twitter as well. Thank you again very much. This is Nidal signing off. Goodbye.